Thank you for joining Power to the Pod, a conversation that builds our community through an intellectual integrity and a moral honesty. Now your host, Superior.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy, Superior, and thank you for once again tuning in to Power to the Pod. Like you heard at the beginning. Power to you, power to me, power to the people, power to the pod. Now today we're going to be talking about Miss Jackson, the Supreme Court nominee. Now she has been voted through, so everything is copacetic. But I kind of wanted to wait until everything was said and done because I don't want to keep making 4 or 5 episodes kind of talking about the same, court date, hearing 1, 2, and 3. I didn't want to keep doing that, so I kind of wanted to wait till everything was finished so I can give my thoughts and opinion. So we're going to be talking about that. And then, cleverly, I'm going to tie this in to, yes, I'm pretty sure you already heard. If not, lucky for you. We're going to be talking about Will Smith and him literally that one night in 10 seconds made all black people as a whole take 2 steps back, like socially, culturally, just any way that people can see black folks. Will Smith himself somehow managed to put all black folks 2 steps back. So we're going to be talking about all that in today's episode. Let's go. All right, guys. So, of course, as you already may know, if you're listening to this, I'm pretty sure you know something along what's going on in the world today. But Ketanji, I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that name, Brown Jackson. We're going to call her Miss Jackson. Don't try not to sing the song. Not every Jackson relates to that song. But neither here or there. She has been nominated by Joe Biden, and he even at one point said, "Hey, I'm going to nominate a black woman," which is historic. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we had other black folks before, but a black woman has never been done, which kind of speaks volume because, America has been around for quite some time, and we're just now getting to that, as if for some reason, black women are now like smart enough to serve on a Supreme Court justice. Like it's just weird. But anyway, I that's a little weird to me. One, you don't have to put on a show. You don't have to signal to me that you care about me by saying, "Hey, I'm going to put a black woman on here." Like, I get it. It's good for the historic books. I like that. But if you can look past that, if you can look past the bull that a lot of these presidents, not just Joe Biden, if you can look beyond that, it doesn't mean anything. This is the same guy just weeks before saying, not defund the police, but we're going to fund the police. We're going to triple their budget. You know what I'm saying? As if police officers are killing black folks to little to no reason because they just don't have enough money. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would have spared a lot of these folks' life if they would have been like, "Oh man, I just got me a pay raise. I'm not going to kill this Negro today." You know what I'm saying? Like, money is really going to solve the issue, but that's a whole nother video. If you are able to look beyond just the show and tell that they like to do, it's just a little weird. Okay. First and foremost, had to get that out there. But one thing that I did notice was the hearings was just a bunch of show. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a bunch of Republicans trying to get that soundbite that they can put on their Twitter, their Instagram, a lot of the Fox News organizations and things like that, where they can show to their crowd, to their fans, to their base, and just get a reaction. That's all it was. And same with the Democrats. A lot of butt kissing, a lot of like, you're an amazing person, which I mean isn't bad, but you can still ask some questions. You know what I'm saying? It's like an interview. You know, like, you don't have to just be like, man, your resume looks good, looks beautiful. You're dressed nice. Yeah, you got the job. Like, no, you keep asking me some questions. It doesn't have to just always be so, you know, like sunshines and rainbows type thing, or walk in the park. Ask some questions. It's not illegal. We're not going to think anything less of you. You know what I'm saying? But I figured it out, and it's not hard to figure it out, but I seen it in real time. The Republicans have a problem with Miss Jackson. Yes, because she's black, of course. 90% of the Republican Party, including their voters, will have a problem because she's black. Not only because she's black, she's a woman. Oh, can't have women in charge. And she's a Democrat. Yes, a black woman that's a Democrat, that's a triple threat. You know what I'm saying? They don't like that. But one thing I noticed, and I think it was Ted Cruz, he said what he wasn't supposed to say out loud. And then after I heard this, I knew all this was just a joke. Can't take anything serious. It's payback from the Kavanaugh hearing. You know, a couple years ago when Donald Trump had a nomination, this white dude, he was accused of sexual assault when he was younger, and a whole thing, and it's like, it's just payback. So anything they have to say, any questions, you know, quote unquote, you know, questions they have for her, is just really just to make her look bad. Now, here is some examples, and try not to laugh.
I wrote a book called Anti-Racist Baby by Ibram Kendi. And there are portions of this book that I find really quite remarkable. One portion of the book says babies are taught to be racist or anti-racist. There is no neutrality. Another portion of the book, they recommend to babies confess when being racist. Now, this is a book that is taught at Georgetown Day School to students in pre-K through second grade, so 4 through 7 years old. Do you agree with this book that is being taught with kids that babies are racist?
Concern. How would you feel if somebody up here on our side said, you know, you attend church too much for me, or your faith is a little bit different to me, and they would suggest that it would affect your decision? Would you find that offensive?
Senator,
I would if I were you. I found it offensive when they said it about Judge Barrett. And so I guess the reason I'm bringing all this up is it gives me a chance to remind this committee in America there are two standards going on here. If you're an African-American conservative woman, you're fair game to have your life turned upside down, to be filibustered no matter how qualified you are. And if you express your faith as a conservative, all of a sudden you're an effing nut. And we're tired of it. And it's not going to happen to you. But it just appalls me that we can have such a system in America, that if a conservative woman wants to stand out and say, I love my family just as much as you love yours, and my faith means just as much to me as it does you, that all of a sudden there comes some kind of weirdo. A guy like Justice Alito, who's in the same type situation you're in, being in a group, doesn't agree with everything they do or what people may say at a meeting he didn't go to, all of a sudden they own it.
Now, as you hear, or as you heard, it was just a bunch of who can say the craziest thing and get that clip for YouTube. Who can say, who can act the most irate and the most the most concerned Republican out there will get the views and the clicks on Twitter. That's what it was for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't even really listening to the questions. I was just looking at the show and like, wow, they're really doing this. And God bless his heart, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Cory Booker, was a prime example of a Democrat doing the opposite, but to the degree where it's like bruh, come on. And I think it's really his character. I don't think he's pretending to be that, like, trying to motivate and, put a smile on your face and, smile while he's talking. And it's just like a scene out of a movie. I think that's his personality. But it's like, I wish he would have checked these fools in real time while Ted Cruz and all these other sorry seconds was like being really disrespectful. I wish Cory Booker would have like just stood up and be like, hey, I'm about to walk out this joint if y'all don't chill the hell out. You know what I'm saying? Like, check these fools if you really do care. Don't just wait your turn in silence and just be like, is it my turn to talk? And then like just babble about a whole bunch of crazy things. Here's an example of what I'm talking about.
She faced starvation, chased by dogs. And when she got to freedom, what did she do? Did she rest? No, she went back. Again and again and again. The sky was full of stars. I came back from my run after being near assaulted by someone on the street. I thought about her and how she looked up. She kept looking up. No matter what they did to her, she never stopped looking up. And that star, it was a harbinger of hope. Today, you're my star. You are my harbinger of hope. This country is getting better and better and better. And when that final vote happens and you ascend onto the highest court in the land, I'm going to rejoice. And I'm going to tell you right now, the greatest country in the world, the United States of America, will be better because of you. Thank you.
And yes, I know a whole bunch of viral things happened with this hearing. One of the Republican ladies asked Miss Jackson, what's the definition of a woman? And it's like, if she knows anything about the position a judge is supposed to have when looking at any case, it's just the proof and facts that is laid before her. You cannot inject your own bias, inject your own opinions. I don't care if you're a Christian or an atheist, if you're black, white, man or woman, you cannot allow that. Even the outside knows you can't allow media, other judges, presidents, your friends, the culture. You can't allow that to dictate how you feel about a case, at least on paper. You know what I'm saying? Is it really like that? Not really. But at least on paper, that's how it's supposed to be. And these Republicans asking these questions know that. And of course, they're trying to trip her up with saying, hey, what's your definition of a woman? Miss Jackson answered that flawlessly, saying, hey, that's not my role. That's not my position to give my definition of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a biologist. I don't dwell in that nature. I'm a judge. Give me the facts and ask me legal questions, but don't ask me about nothing else outside of that. She did a really good job answering that. My question is, what good comes out of this? Out of airing this on TV? Like, if they need to do this from now on, my opinion is they don't do this on TV, because it just turns into a TV show. And then you get clown shows like this, and it serves nobody any good. But I can at least say that Miss Jackson, not only is she the most qualified that's sitting on a seat today, I mean, public high school, the Ivy League law school she attended, Supreme Court clerking, public defender, sentencing commissions, district judge, and Court of Appeals judge. I'm reading this as I'm going. So she fills in all those check boxes. While like Miss Barrett, not even a fraction, not even half of what Miss Jackson did. So I mean, there was really nothing to put towards the table when it comes to questionings from these Republicans. All they want to do is just make a show so they can get some clicks on Twitter. And I mean, thank God Miss Jackson kept her composure, because some of these dudes was really out of pocket. And I can just hope that she would bring that same integrity to the Supreme Court seats, and she can actually do some good for America. But what I can say, now this is probably the smoothest transition anyone has ever done. One person who has not done good for the culture, yes, is Mr. Will Smith. Now, if you haven't heard, like I said at the beginning, if you haven't heard, God bless your heart. Okay. God bless you. But it's been on my mind, and I don't want to turn this podcast into like, celebrity gossip, celebrity drama. Like, it's interesting, it's entertaining, but it's not really something I'm like 100% like invested in. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't really care about celebrities, because at the end of the day, they don't care about me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, put some good movies out there. Do your job, cool. But as far as your life goes, I could care less, because you probably don't even care about me. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I'm talking about this, because how easy it is for an instance like this to happen, and Republicans, and I'm pretty sure it could go the other way if something was to happen, a good example, bam, bam, and Democrats could use the same situation, flip it, and use it as ammunition. So I'm not saying this is just a Republican thing, but just unfortunately, it had to fall like a gift for Republicans, because Will Smith was in the crowd at the Oscars. Chris Rock was a host. And of course, for as long as I can remember, when, normally they would hire a comedian to host the Oscars, because you don't want it to be boring. You don't want someone just monotone up on a stage just talking. You want a comedian to kind of get people to laugh and to kind of just stay awake, throughout the Oscars. So they got Chris Rock, and I love Chris Rock. I'm old enough to say that he was my Kevin Hart when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? My kids don't know who Chris Rock is, but they know who Kevin Hart is. You know what I'm saying? So I would say like Chris Rock is like my top 5. So maybe that's a bias with me talking about this, but I respect him. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, Chris Rock said a joke about his wife being bald. You know what I'm saying? Because reportedly, Chris Rock didn't know she had alopecia which is a sudden hair loss that starts with one or more circular bald patches that may overlap. Alopecia occurs when the immune system attacks hair follicles and may be brought on by severe stress. Read that right out the dictionary, so boom, there you go. But nevertheless, it's been reported that Chris Rock didn't know that she had this, and he made a G.I. Jane joke because, you know, when you see a bald woman, you think of G.I. Jane, you know, someone who, a woman who's in the army who can shoot a gun and do all these flips and kicks, you know, just like a mild joke. Yes, you know, some people might laugh, some people might have issue with it, but I mean, it's, to be honest, you can, you know, come up with 10, 20 jokes about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith and their marriage. You know what I'm saying? But it was, at least to me, I didn't laugh. When I seen the clip, I didn't even laugh at the joke because it wasn't even that funny. It was like, oh, okay, G.I. Jane. Not the first time I heard it, so, you know, who cares? But the clip showed that, you know, Will Smith kind of giggled. Next thing you know, you can see Jada kind of rolling her eyes and, you know, in disgust, which I get because you're being made fun of. Okay, got you. And then within like 15, 20 seconds, Will Smith is walking on stage. Chris Rock thinks it's just going to be some friendly exchange. And then, bow, you know, Will Smith smacks the hell out of Chris Rock. Now, was it wrong? Let's just get this out the way. Was it wrong? Yes. Okay. And this is speaking as a poor person. Okay. I'm not some rich millionaire who can kind of do what they want. And, you know, my fame and money and status can kind of get me out of trouble. Was it wrong? Yes. If someone's talking about my wife and I'm in a function where, you know, like a work function, and I slap the hell out of my boss because he makes a joke about my wife's shoes or something, I'm going to get fired. Like, it's plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's his wife. You could defend your wife, but, and this is where it ties into what I want to talk about. Being black, you have to be real careful of what you do. Especially when you have the spotlight on you, when you're such an icon like Will Smith, people are watching you 24/7. Literally, I'm pretty sure he has paparazzi all outside his crib right now because he is the talk of the town. And this is Will Smith. He's been famous since he was like, 16? You know what I'm saying? He's been like the top 10 people in Hollywood. I'm pretty sure. I'm not looking it up, but when you're black and you command such a presence, you need to be careful. Here's why. Because what you do wrong is going to reflect on me. It's going to reflect on black folks, whether it makes sense or not. And it really sucks because not all black people think alike. I mean, sorry to like blow your mind, but some black folks don't care. You know, you see what I'm saying? Now, let me show you some clips. Okay. Now, these are Republicans, quote unquote, smart people who should be able to kind of put common sense together and not be like, hey, Will Smith is a reflection of all black folks, but they're smart enough to use this as like a pseudo racist like aim. Like, it's just weird how they turn this how they did. Now take a listen and I'll be right back.
You know, apparently during the commercials there were some PR people saying something to him. But, you know, we could also add like the weird woke element of race to this. So it was black on black violence, which people obviously treat a little bit differently, I suspect.
Judge, what do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
I think that the Oscars are not the hood.
So as you see, they're the lady said, this is not the hood. like really? Like really? Will Smith smacking the hell out of Chris Rock, and all of a sudden you think black folks thinks the Oscars is the hood? Or people saying this is black privilege. Like Will Smith didn't get in trouble. He accepted his award, didn't get in no legal trouble, didn't get escorted by the police, and didn't get booed off stage. Oh, this is proof of black privilege. It's like, really? Or my favorite is black folks on Twitter and on YouTube, like, oh, this is the blackest the Oscars have ever been. It's like, so you equate violence to black folks. Is this 2022? Is this the era that we're living in? Because if so, I don't want to be black. Yes, I done said it. If this is how black folks think how black people are supposed to act, and that's cute, bro, really? This is what we're gonna settle for? like we all have to act like that. Now trust me, I didn't have I ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? Just a couple months ago I had to flash on a nigga for talking slick. You know what I'm saying? And it right away I was like, I don't want to be that nigga at work. I don't want to be the mad black guy at work, because it's not a good look. And then white folks is going to tell their other white friends, this is why we can't hire black folks, because they always getting hypersensitive, and the first thing they want to do is fight. The first thing they want to do is argue. And I'm dark skinned, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, let a dark skinned guy be angry, like they gonna call the cops. You see what I'm saying? And now Will Smith is making all black folks look like all we want to do. And this is the important part. Listen, please listen. If you haven't heard anything I've said for this like 25 minutes, listen to this here. Will Smith, his actions have let these people twist and turn things around to where now the narrative is black people only get upset when white people inflict damage on black folks. But when it's black folks inflicting that same kind of damage, any damage, it's okay. Because that's how black folks communicate with other black folks, just through violence. You know what I'm saying? Like really? And of course, you know, white people are not going to walk up to you and be like, hey, this is how. No, it's going to play in the back of their head. And they're going to believe that. I mean, they still believe Donald Trump is president. Like, come on. Like, how far of a hop skip you think is going to take them for them to believe this? It's like, come on, black folks, man. Like, you guys are literally, and this is why I'm making this podcast, because I need you guys to listen. You guys are literally embarrassing me, and it needs to stop.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to join the conversation by subscribing. Make sure to tune in next time, and like always, power to you, power to me, power to the people, power to the pod.